This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
Hey, Dad, this is Pinky, and you're listening to Animanicast. You know why? Because you're going to take over the world.
Narf.
And welcome, everybody, to a Pinky in the Brain episode of the Animanicast.
Perhaps you could direct us to the nearest spaceport, little girl.
Why?
Because we need to get to the megastar.
Why?
Because we're trying to take over the galaxy.
Why?
Because with me in charge, it will be a better place.
Why?
Because I'm really smart.
Why?
Because I am. Now stop saying why.
Why?
Because you're driving me crazy.
Why?
Pinky-O, tell her to stop.
Why?
Enough!
And welcome, everybody, to the Animanicast. We are the only podcast that talks exclusively about the animated series Animaniacs. And today you're probably asking yourself, well, what are we going to do tonight? Well, the same thing we do every night. Try to talk about Pinky in the Brain, revisiting all the cultural references and gags, and then in the end, we're going to give this episode of Pinky in the Brain a water tower rating. I am Joey, and joining me are my galactic co-hosts, my brother Nathan.
Use the face.
And across the country in Georgia, it's Kelly.
Hello.
Well, today we are reviewing Pinky in the Brain, but also sort of, it's basically an episode of Animaniacs, really. We're reviewing Star Wars, which was the last episode of Pinky in the Brain. We are just jumping all around the timeline on Pinky in the Brain. Why? Because I wanted to. I wanted to talk about this episode. And I actually wanted to talk about it back in December when The Rise of Skywalker came out. But, you know, whatever. May is a month of Star Wars as well, right? It's the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. And
Which is the best one.
You know, some would say, you know, A New Hope, you know, but whatever, you know.
It's Empire,
A New Hope
but yeah.
did not have Yoda in it.
That's true. A New Hope did not have Yoda. I do remember as a kid, like watching A New Hope and going, oh, this doesn't have Yoda or the Ewoks in it. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
As I got older, I liked A New Hope the most. And I know a lot of people think it's their least, but we're not going to talk about our rankings of Star Wars films right now.
Oh,
I'm sorry. We're going to talk about this episode, which I was really glad to see because we all love Star Wars and love Animaniacs. So this is a perfect combination. With somewhere to ask you about this episode in just a few words, what would you tell them? Let's start with you, Nathan.
it's like Star Trek, but with lightsabers, and it's kind of like that. And the Animaniacs are in it.
Oh, very, very good. And Kelly, what about you?
It was laugh out loud funny.
I particularly saw one moment right there with Skippoda that I was like, oh, Kelly must be loving this part. It's like, make Yoda even cuter, make him as Skippy. But anyway, we're going to get to all that in a little bit. But before we do, Nathan, please tell us, when did this episode of Pinky in the Brain first premiere?
Well, Joey, this episode premiered on Saturday, November 14th of 1998, which if you're like, hey, that sounds kind of familiar, that's because that was the same day as the series finale of Animaniacs. They did a two-parter. This was actually in the middle of that episode of Animaniacs. And later this week, we would have new shows like Powerpuff Girls and Elmo's World would be brought. And it's just a week after the movie Waterboy was released. It was just a day after the movie Meet Joe Black was released, and a week before the movie Bug's Life was released, and 2 weeks before Zelda Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64.
So you were mentioning Meet Joe Black and Waterboy, and those have a Star Wars connection, I know, for me, because I went to go see those films, or at least Waterboy, a few times just to see the episode 1 trailer. They would play it before the movie started and after the movie.
Yeah, I remember I went with you.
Oh, wow.
We stayed all the way through the credits just to watch that.
Yep.
I saw it with The Matrix.
Oh, see, yeah, that would also work.
Yep. It was one of the only times, like the old times, where you could not really. Well, you could download it off the internet, off your. 50,
it took an hour.
Yeah, at least, and then you would hope that nobody picked up the phone to make a call. That was the worst. I had like all these like halfway incomplete. Like, I got the first 20 seconds of the trailer. I'll start downloading it again, and I'll watch this 20 seconds a few times. Oh my goodness, what a time. This is right after the special edition, so this is like kind of right in between. Star Wars is just about to really come back in a big way. So this I really like this first episode, this episode that we're seeing, and I know that it's kind of unofficially the 100th episode of Animaniacs.
Yeah, I think Tom Ruegger has maybe said that at times in his life.
Yeah, so even though it premiered before the 99th episode, it's basically an episode of Animaniacs.
Well,
even though
premiered
in the Brain,
during, it was like they started the 99th episode and then played this episode and then finished off the 99th
oh
episode.
Really? Oh God, that is even weirder. I thought it was just kind of like in a spectacular Animaniacs thing. Like,
no.
Oh wow, that is really weird then. Okay, so in order, if you're watching these on Hulu or on DVD, basically start episode 99 of Animaniacs, stop it halfway through, then watch this, then go back to the episode 99 of Animaniacs. Weird. Well, let's get right into it. Let's talk about Star Warners.
The Pinky and the Brain. There's Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. They've entered in a race to conquer outer space. The Pinky and the Brain. Brain.
And Star Warners was written by Liz Holzman, Charles M. Howell IV, and Tom Ruegger. It was directed by Nelson Recinos. And apparently some additional information was also written by Paul Dini, according to, IMDb. You guys know that that movie Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, this is episode, I don't even know what these Roman numerals are. LXV? Somebody look that up.
Well, 10 and 5. L is what, 50?
Okay, 50, 65?
65 then?
So is this episode 65 of Pinky and the Brain? Is this why it's making sense?
Is.
Oh, okay. Episode 65. It all makes sense now. A new Zort. And the credits roll by very quickly. It's basically just the modified theme song. In fact, it is the modified theme song that just kind of goes by really quickly. Pinky and the Brain, they've entered in a race to conquer outer space. And Star Warners starts off they're with the same iconic ship being chased over a planet, except instead of the Tantive 4 with a Star Destroyer, it's a random blocky ship being chased by a Star Destroyer with a Warner Brothers logo on the bottom of it.
How did you just say that? Did you say Tantive?
Yeah, Tantive.
I thought it was just Tantive.
I've heard both pronunciations.
Okay.
And
I've never heard that pronunciation.
I like to say Tantive.
Okay.
You look it up. I know it's like a Twi'lek and Twi'lek. It's depending on, or George Lucas has even said
Leah and Leia, or Han and Han.
Yeah.
Coruscant and Coruscant.
Yeah, Coruscant. I used to say Coruscant for the many years until episode 1 came out. And I was like, oh, Coruscant, huh?
Well, that's the way it was pronounced in the audio books.
Coruscant, yeah.
Before the movies came out.
Well, what's even weirder is the planet Hoth, is George Lucas said on one of the DVDs or, making of movies that, the planet Hoth. And I'm like,
what?
Hoth?
I think I remember that actually.
I was like, Hoth? George Lucas says Hoth. Okay, whatever. Anyway,
apparently that's correct.
It starts off with, the rebel soldiers kind of going to their positions, just like in A New Hope. The door is being blown down, except instead of stormtroopers blasting through, it's the Good Feathers.
Hey, them rebels don't give us no respect, Bobby. Know what I mean?
No respect at all.
What do you expect, Pesto? We blasted them first.
We did not. Bobby, did we blast them first?
A little bit. Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
See, I told you.
And they look awesome in their little stormtrooper outfits. And they even, I think, make a reference to the special editions with talking about who shot first. This might be the first parody of the Han and Greedo shooting first line. I'm not 100% sure, but this has got to be one of the first times this has ever been parodied. This was before, Robot Chicken and, Family Guy, obviously. So, now there's so many Star Wars parodies, but back in the 90s, there's this and I don't know.
Tiny Toons did an episode.
Tiny Toons did Muppet Babies,
Yeah.
But it's not like today where you can point to like all these different great Star Wars parodies, So anyway, I think that might have been the first time, at least mainstream wise, that the shooting first might have been parodied, if that is in fact talking about it. But it goes to a lot of the plot. Girth Plotz is playing the part of Darth Vader, and Hello Nurse and Ralph are two of the main stormtroopers. They go down the hall. They see Princess Leia, or Princess. Is she Princess Leia or Princess Dottie?
It's Princess Dot.
Dot. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Princess Dot, and she's putting a little message to Brain. Brain to me too.
All right. Who took the last diet root beer?
I told you, I am not a refrigerator. I am a laboratory robot engaged in an intricate scheme of galactic domination.
Stupid machine! You ate all my change!
He goes off with C-3PO, which is Pinky. And what is Pinky called? I forget. He's not C-3PO. He's 3-Pinkio or something, I think.
Perhaps? Yeah, 3-Pinkio.
Yeah, okay. It's working.
And Brain to me too.
Yes.
3-Pinkio. It's great.
Yeah. So they're the Brain has the plans for this Death Star. It's not called the Death Star, however, it's the Mega Star, right? So,
yeah.
But instead of being a good droid, the Brain, of course, wants to use these plans to actually rule the galaxy.
She gave us the plans to Girth Plotz's ultimate weapon, the Megastar. With it, I can conquer the galaxy.
Oh, joy! We'll be ruled by a mini-fridge!
I am not a refrigerator.
Oh, then I'd better take out my leftovers before they spoil. Now, where did I put that chicken chimichanga?
I thought it was a cool twist on the whole. What if R2-D2 was a megalomaniacal, character?
He might be. We don't know what he's saying.
It's true. He does curse a lot. So anyway, the C-3PO or Pinky and the Brain. I'm just going to call him Pinky and the Brain. Pinky and the Brain. They escape. They go down to this planet, this sandy planet, and Dot is interrogated. She won't tell it where the plans are or where her mini fridge is or anything like that. And she does a cool little Captain Kirk impression.
Enough! What are you doing here?
My 5-year mission is to seek out new worlds and make them cuter.
And she even calls herself something around the lines of Leia or Origami in her little Princess Angelina Contessa line.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool since it's kind of a reference to Leia Organa. But she says it so fast. It's like
Leanna Pile of Origami.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect casting, by the way. Plotz comes in. Not Plotz, I should say. Dr. Scratch and Sniff comes in. And he's playing the Governor Tarkin role. And he just throw a toupee on Scratch and Sniff. And it just looks like Tarkin. What Nathan, I'm assuming, because what's the spin on his name? Do they spin his name at all? I don't know.
Oh, it's probably somewhere in here. Let's see. His name is Dr. Scratch and Sniff.
Really?
They never say his name in it.
So. Oh, I didn't think they did. I hope that I just missed it, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Pinky and the Brain are they go crash land on this sand planet, and they get captured by a Jawa, but it's actually Mindy, and she captures them and puts them into her little sand crawler shaped in the shape of an anvil. Of course, this is after a long back and forth between the two characters with a why thing back and forth.
Why?
But anyway, she takes the funny vacuum cleaner man and they go over to Luke Skylicker's place. And this is played by Wakko. He has his little tractor, and he not Luke Skylicker, it's Wak Skylicker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should be more clear. Sorry. Well, unlike Anakin Skywalker, he loves sand, even though it gets everywhere.
The prequels hadn't come out yet. They
can talk about that sand joke yet. But anyway, he's been running, instead of being a moisture farmer, he is a sand farmer, and he just has a huge crop of sand.
Hi, Mr. Farmer Man.
Hello, little nomad nurse. I'm Wak Skylicker.
What you doing?
Farming sand. I've got a big crop this year.
Okay.
And he even pays for, he selects the two droids and then pays Mindy, the Jawa, with sand. Really great back and forth between the two right there, especially with Mindy just, okay. Like all of a sudden Mindy thinks the person she's talking to is an idiot.
Yeah, I like how you never get to see Mindy interact with other people typically of the classic Animaniacs cast. So it's fun to see Pinky and the Brain interact with her, and Wakko, just like it.
And Buttons got away from her, which was good for him. Well, they take this. I love explaining this plot because this is just exactly the same plot of A New Hope. They Wak Skylicker takes them in to get cleaned, and a message starts playing. It's Princess Dot.
Help me, Slappy Nappy, please.
Hello, girl who looks just like my long-lost sister Nurse.
Then they go off to go see Slappy Nappy, who he doesn't know who Slappy Nappy is, but he thinks it might be Has-Been Nappy or something like that, which is a good spin on the Ben Kenobi line with Has-Been.
Yeah. Maybe could it be Obi-Wan Kenobi be old Ben Kenobi? It's practically the same name. What are you talking about?
Well, we at least know it. Oh, it's my Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. I love that. I know, whatever. Anyway, that basically sums it up. They kind of run off and they go to her tree / structure or whatever that plant is, but they do it in a kind of Wizard of Oz manner since Pinky kind of hopes that he'll get a brain.
Maybe she can help me find my sister.
Maybe she can help me get to the megastar.
Maybe she can help me get a brain.
Oh, we're off to see the Has-Been, the wonderful Has-Been in Slappy. Are you sure we're in the right movie?
And I thought that was kind of cute because there have been a lot of comparisons with the story of Wizard of Oz and Star Wars because it's kind of a hero's journey with Dorothy in some ways. But there we go. That is the first section right there of this. So what did you guys think about this? What are some moments that really stood out you thought were cool? Let's start with you, Kelly.
I liked it when Dot said her name, which I cannot remember at all because it takes a spin on the normal Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca Banana Fanafofesca III. So, she changed it up a little bit.
Princess Angelina Contessa Luisa Francesca Banana Fana Leona Pile of Origami III. But you can call me Dot. Call me Dottie and you'll be taking your tang intravenously.
I thought the animation was really great, and they really did a good job of mimicking actual shots from Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree. Nathan, what about you?
Just all the little cute little things, like the sandcrawler is a giant anvil or something, just like little cool little things. I don't know, just they definitely took their time with this segment, and they put a lot of thought into all the characters, and just seeing all these cameos in a Pinky and the Brain episode is just wild. Like the Good Feathers, you never think to see them in any episode. It's just fun seeing them again, I don't know.
Totally.
It's just a lot of fun.
And just even like some of the cool little Star Wars things, like I have a bad feeling about this, with the Brain saying it.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I was like, that's cool. Or it ended up becoming a little bit like Spaceballs when Dot rips off his mask to say, maybe you're bet you look better with this mask off, and I was wrong. So cute line right there. And I don't know, I just had a good feeling. I had a good feeling about this. Not a bad feeling. Watching it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Well, Kelly, why don't you tell us what happens here in the second part, if you can.
They go to see Yoda.
Eventually. I wanted to make sure you got to the second part, because they do get to Yoda in this part, but you got to tell us what happens a little before then.
Okay. The trio finds Slappy One and Nappy, and she says that she will take them to Mos Eisner Spaceport.
Yes.
Which is the best name ever.
I agree.
And it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. And
it's Hollywood.
They even have they even have the shot where they're kind of like on the, what do you call it, like the bluff, or the cliff kind of overlooking the city.
The studio of Mos Eisner. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. So be careful. We're going in without an agent.
So they go there, and they want to locate a pilot, and but instead of the normal Cantina music that you would assume, or even just a parody of the Cantina music, it's actually the Freakazoid theme.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. And they meet Yak Soho and his sidekick Chububu, which is Yakko and Chicken Boo.
Yak Soho, Space Ace, reporting for duty. This is my co-pilot, Chububu.
His co-pilot's a chicken, I tell you! A giant chicken!
Not if you keep a nightlight turned on. Thank you, I'll be here through Tuesday.
So they have a spaceship called the Bicentennial Lemming instead of the Millennium Falcon. And it's a pizza delivery vehicle.
Yes.
And then the Imperials show up and they escape. But Plotz wants to show off the power of the Megastar. And so he threatens Dot, and because he wants the information. And her planet's the Comedy Planet, which I believe used to be the name of the comedy channel. Comedy Central.
Perhaps they went through a lot of.
Or that was the
names.
Logo. They had it as a logo, like.
Yes. The Comedy Central used to have a planet as their thing, but they went from Ha to Comedy Channel to I don't know what they had. They couldn't figure out what their name was for a long time before they stuck on Comedy Central.
Yes.
So maybe that is a connection right there. I didn't think about that. Okay.
I thought so. That's what popped into my head.
Yeah, maybe.
And but instead of like they do with Alderaan, they want to mess up the TV reception, and so send out like Ken Burns paddleball videos.
Yes, the history.
Well, not videos.
I'm going to screw up their TV reception.
You are sick.
Begin TV disruption.
What's the deal with Pluto? Is it a dog or is it a planet? I gotta know.
We interrupt Spacefeld to present Ken Burns' History of Paddleball in 127 parts.
Dear Abner,
Your new game of paddle the ball is all the rage. I think it may even replace the minuet.
It's on every channel.
And for those who don't know, Ken Burns is famous. He's a famous documentarian and has done things on. This was probably maybe around the time he did the baseball one. Maybe why they chose paddleball. But he did Civil War and some other things. And Skylicker decides that he needs some help to defeat Plotz. And so Slappy suggests they go see Skippoda.
Yes.
And he is the wisest of the wise. and just as an aside, Nathan Ruger is still voicing Skippy here, Skippoda. And oh my goodness, the voice is the best thing ever.
It really is. So cute.
He's imitating Yoda's voice, of course, but it's Skippy imitating Yoda. It's everything.
But Skippoda, what is comedy?
All that is funny around us it is. A better place it makes the universe. Yes.
Hurry it up, will you, Skippy? We ain't got all day here.
Cranky she is. My Aunt Slappy she is.
Skippoda, I want to save my sister and defeat Girth Plotz.
Do not just concentrate on plots. You need to work on the jokes.
So he is teaching Skylicker how to wield a mallet, which is basically a blue glowy mallet, kind of like a lightsaber. And the big secret weapon is, instead of the Force, it's the face. And so, it's made the face be with you. So he makes Wakko Skylicker makes the gooky face with the little, goofy eyes and the big puffed out cheeks and everything. And Skippoda says that it's the best way to diffuse tense situations with comedy, or I should say, diffuse tense situations with comedy.
The face is strong in this one.
Use the gookie. Diffuse tense situations with humor. It works many times. Control the funny face, and you can save the galaxy.
It's so funny, and he's got the little Yoda ears going on, and it's everything. And then, and they even had the crashed ship in the swamp, just like Dagobah and Luke and everything, just like in the movie. And then Skippoda says that Skylicker's work is complete, his training is complete, and so Wak goes off to face Girth Plotz.
Yes, with a mallet that's like a lightsaber mallet or something.
Yes.
Which is cool. Which I guess, is this where he trains and then he starts hitting the brain on top?
They put a paper bag over his head.
Yes,
he was
that's
having
right.
a little bit of trouble, and to make it funnier, they put the bag over his head, and then he just starts hitting the brain in the head.
Fabu! Is this how you use it?
Sweetheart, you must get the big laugh. Now try.
Oh no.
Now that's comedy.
Yes. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff in this second one, and second part, I should say. Nathan, what were some of the things you really liked?
Oh, there's just so many cameos that like in that cantina scene.
Oh yeah,
it's got Freakazoid and Moron and
yeah, there's a full because there's Looney Tunes characters also, Gossamer and
I saw Baloney back there.
Oh yeah, Baloney was he's going to make an appearance in just a little bit as well. But yeah, let's see. There's one of these things has one of our notes here has an actual list. Wait, here we go. I got it here. Cameo characters. Minerva, she's in it for a moment. Wile E. Coyote and Foghorn Leghorn are apparently in this part somewhere. Yosemite Sam, Duck Dodgers I saw. Marvin the Martian is in it. Freakazoid and Fanboy and Moron. Let's see. I said Gossamer. Hugo the Abominable Snowman is there. Baloney, the Thumb, and the aliens from Yoda. Yeah, Yoda. Yeah, from Space Probed. Yes, all the aliens from Space Probed are coming back in this one. Canine, Mr. Skullhead. You think you see the back of his head? Egghead Jr., that little chick, bird alien. not an alien. Well, in this he's an alien. Whatever. So there's just like a lot of just stuff going on. So really, really lots of details. Good stuff.
Rick from Casablanca too.
Yes,
Humphrey Bogart.
Can't forget Humphrey Bogart, and Barbara Streisand, I believe, is in it as well. So you got a lot of stuff going on.
And it was a good pun with the pilot. I liked Slappy was trying to get a pilot, but it was a different kind of pilot.
So long, sweethearts.
You get it? It's like the Lucy show, but with the squirrel. Hey, you spoiled my pitch.
Your what?
My pitch. I told you I was trying to get us a pilot.
I like how she was pitching it as it's kind of like the Lucy show, which I don't know if you guys ever remember watching the Lucy show. I saw a few episodes on the Comedy Planet or Comedy Central. The 90s. It was like the show that Lucy did after I Love Lucy, and it was just not really that funny. At least I don't remember it being that funny. So it's kind of funny seeing so good stuff right there. Kelly, Nathan, anything other things you thought were good in this second part here?
Skippoda.
Skippoda.
Pip was very funny seeing him.
Yes,
seeing him again.
Torturing Dot.
Mm-hmm. Mentioning Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I know just how to make her talk. Sergeant Major Ness!
How do? Name's Pip Pumphandle. You meet the most interesting people in outer space. Did I ever tell you about the time I met Mr. Mark Hamill, star of stage, screen, and the occasional comic book?
So it made me think, Mark Hamill used to do a lot of like writing and producing of comic books. And they even reference Batman and Robin in this one. Remember that quick Mr. Freeze? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I tried not to remember it.
Oh, man.
Chill out, fridge boy.
But,
that was so bad.
I mean, there's just it has a lot of energy in this second part. A lot of good stuff. A Jerry Seinfeld reference as well. Those aliens looked like a mixture of the Jetsons and Sea Monkeys or something. It was
their hair definitely is Jetsons.
Yeah. And let's see, any other little things? Yeah, I really think that this to all the artists that listen, if you want to make a shirt that Kelly will definitely buy, make a Skippoda or whatever.
Oh my goodness!
Shirt.
That would be the best thing ever.
Yeah, she'd wear it. She'd buy it.
I would wear it proudly.
Well, let's go ahead and I guess let's get to the third part. Nathan, why don't you wrap it up for us? Let's get to the third chapter, the chapter THX.
All right. Well, we come back from commercial. There's another opening scrawl. Scrolls. Basically telling us that we're going to make a detour, and now they are at what is essentially Jabba's palace. Although instead of Jabba the Hutt, we have Flabby the Butt, right?
Yes.
And this is played by Fabio of the Hip Hippos.
Oh, so you are my captain.
Hey, Flabby, nice chins. You look great. Have you lost weight? Okay, a little touchy about the weight thing, I understand.
And he's upset because Yak Soho failed to deliver his pizza as he's a pizza delivery, and he never got his pizza on time. So they decide to give him the pizza, which they just start pouring cheese all over him and shooting him with cheese guns and stuff like that. And you can hear Baloney in the background as a Rancor as the threat for that. So like a little cute little scene, whatever.
I wish that we could have seen a giant Baloney as a Rancor, but whatever.
They already showed a tiny one though in the cantina.
That's true.
So
It would have been whatever.
No, Flappy, wait. Now I know it's late, but don't you still want your pizza? Neutron hot, just the way you like it.
Okay.
You got it.
Will you be my special friend?
I do like how, by the way, it says this is a detour, and again, I knew it was really referring to Return of the Jedi, but it always felt to me like in the Star Wars A New Hope, the special edition, the version that's the version now, that when they put that Jabba the Hutt scene in, as much as I, for the most part, really like George Lucas's decisions in the special edition for the most part. And as cool as I think the Jabba the Hutt scene is, it really does kind of feel like an unnecessary detour of the main story, because it's like they just go over the exact same lines and
that Greedo did
at Greedo. It's like, we're just going to do the scene again, but let's do it with you now. And it's like,
and then you have to walk on his tail, and
silly.
It's like, I like it because I'm like, oh, there's Jabba. I like Jabba. And I remember at the time, even as bad as Jabba the Hutt looked in 1997, I remember going, oh man, Jabba looks really bad, but it's like new stuff. I have never seen this. I was so happy. I didn't care.
You got Boba Fett too in there.
Yeah, Boba Fett going.
That was my
looking right at the camera, going.
Yeah,
hey,
like
folks.
Total fan service.
Yeah. But we didn't care. At least I didn't care at the moment. I was like, yeah, that was a part where you cared. I care. I'm sure they weren't parodying or referencing A New Hope. They were just kind of doing, let's do Return of the Jedi as well, since we just did Empire Strikes Back with Yoda. But it worked out either way. Anyway, so they escape from Flabby.
They escape from Flabby the Butts, and they are off to the Megastar. So once they're there, they split up, and Brain 2, Me Too goes off with Pinkio. They go to the control room. So they can try to take over the video surveillance. But in Soho, Skylicker goes to rescue Dot with, Soho and Skylicker rescue Princess Dot. Slappy runs into Plotz, and they start fighting because he canceled her show or something. Is that right?
Yeah, because the jokes didn't make any sense.
Yeah, he doesn't know humor. He doesn't know funny things. Is his character fault?
I haven't seen you since you took my cartoons off the air.
Yes, because they made no sense.
No, because you have no sense of humor.
Well, it was kind of reminiscent of the line right there with the Warner's cartoons, which didn't make any sense, so it, perhaps that's just what Plotz thinks. He just doesn't get
he doesn't know comedy, I don't know. So they're fighting, and Slappy's defeated, and, like, oh no, she died, but actually she's still alive. It just she's taking a break or whatever. But Wak Skylicker gets all angry and starts swinging his hammer back and forth at Plotz. They have a battle, and it goes all the way into the control room, where the Brain has been sending out the message over the airwaves, telling people that he is their leader.
I am Brain 2 Me Too, the new ruler of your galaxy.
Now what do I do?
Use the cookie. Defuse 10 situations with humor. It works many times.
Wakko is about to lose the battle, and then he decides to use his face, the Gookie, and he does it, and it makes Plotz laugh, and he goes in front of the camera, and then everyone on the screens are laughing. So, basically everyone's just laughing, and Brain's plot is foiled. because everyone loves the Gookie. It's so funny. So everyone's like rewarded Oscars, I guess, Oscar statues, and then they plan for the next millennium where they're gonna take over or try to take over the galaxy.
We must catch the space shuttle back to our home planet of Acme and prepare for the next millennium.
Gee, Brain 2, what are we going to do in the next millennium?
The same thing we do every millennium, Pinky-o. Try to take over the galaxy.
Free Pinky and the fridge.
I am not a refrigerator.
Dot, 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 dot.
Well, there we go. That was our. That's your summary, but there's still a lot of moments that were there in references. I think the biggest reference, there was Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars. But
We've come to rescue you.
My brother!
My sister. My siblings. My favorite Martian.
My friend Flicka!
My left foot.
My.
they mentioned a lot of those different movies / books right there, which I thought was kind of a cool moment. What were some of the parts that you really thought were cool or whatever? Let's start with you, Kelly.
Baloney as the Rancor. It literally made me laugh out loud. I could not even deal with it. It was so unexpected and so perfect that I just loved it.
And Nathan, what about you?
I guess Wakko's gooky face was well done and funny looking, and I liked it. Yeah.
I don't know if it was as funny as they thought, but I could see. Okay.
But it was a clever use of it to, he just needed to diffuse the situation, and he did it. He
did diffuse it.
It was a clever way to use the Force, or what, because they have to have that saying in it. So it's
funny. Or they also say use the nurse or something like that. Or
may the nurse be with you.
The part that made me laugh out loud was just the part where after Slappy gets killed and she's just eating afterwards in the commissary room. Aren't you supposed to be dead? She's like, dying is hard. Or dying's easy.
Wakko.
Comedy's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me of Hamilton, the musical.
I've not seen Hamilton, the musical.
Oh.
I've seen it, but I don't
There's
get
a
the
line
reference.
in the song says dying is easy, living is harder, and and then they do that reference again later, but so
I was supposed to go see that earlier this month.
it's good musical.
Yeah. Well, I saw it last year, but they canceled the performances obviously, but they've got it rescheduled for the fall.
I'll eventually see it when
It's
they
good.
eventually open up theaters again.
Well, watch it when they bring it to movies.
That's they're going to have like they're
going to make a movie
version of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway, there were some references I did not necessarily get. Like Slappy was reading a Variety. It said Dr. K is now upwardly mobile, which I don't know who Dr. K might be other than Dr. Kevorkian, but I don't know how that means he's upwardly mobile, like upward and walking around. Slappy's hair looked a little weird in this one.
She's got big eyebrows again.
She's got big eyebrows and she got a big tuft of hair, which I'm assuming is just kind of supposed to be like her Alec Guinness hair, sort of, even though Alec Guinness had very thin hair. So I don't know. Whatever. But again, good back and forth between Pinky and the Brain. I love the line where Slappy's talking about space travel rattles or raisins.
Are you going to face Girth Plotz in a one-on-one fight to the death?
Nah, I'm gonna use the little squirrel's room. Space travel really rattles my raisins.
Yeah, just good stuff. One last thing. I liked when Scratch and Sniff yelled at the nurse and he sounded like, I don't know, a Nazi in a Mel Brooks film or something like that. Sergeant, make a nest!
Sergeant, make a nest!
I don't know exactly what was going on with that, what that was maybe referencing. I just like the way he yelled at nurse to
It
come
did
over.
sound familiar, or there was something about it.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds familiar. I just don't know what it's from. But it was good. Good stuff. And I guess that'll do it. So let's go ahead and get to our Water Tower rating. Well, out of 5 water towers, how many would you give this episode of Pinky and the Brain? Kelly, let's start with you.
5, because Skippoda, and also all the cameos like Baloney and Pip, and doing such a great visual parody of the Star Wars films.
Nathan, what about you?
I gotta go with 5 as well. I mean, this is just like such a great send off to the Animaniacs and to Pinky and the Brain. I just, and it's all these references that I get.
That's true. I was going to give it 4.5 for the animation quality because I thought it was kind of bad in some places. But you know what? You're right. This was a really good send off for the show. I thought a lot of cameos that made sense. Plus, it's just the energy in this whole episode is really good. Like really quick one-liners. There's just so much going on that it's worth repeat viewings, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing they fit it all in 22 minutes.
I agree. To summarize this story plus put in Empire and Jedi, that's a feat. It did feel a little bit like this Pun for Hire.
No. I have one of those. Maybe it's a crock pot or a space heater. No. He's gone. My boss has vanished.
Would you do that no thing again?
No.
I love that.
The way that the use of different characters is to tell a movie story, basically, with a lot of in-jokes for Hollywood at the same time. But I really had fun. 5. We're in triple agreement.
Woo!
Yay!
Shut up. That's John Mariano. He's the voice of Bobby from The Goodfeathers. And you're listening to the Animanicast. Will you untie me now? Shh, Coed. I'm listening to the program.
And now, before we get to contact information, it's time for we have a very, 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 very important question to ask you.
We have a very, 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 very important question to ask you.
And now, before we get to contact information, it's time for we have a very, 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 very important question to ask you. And this week, it's Kelly's turn. So, Kelly, you have a character in mind, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nathan and I are going to ask Kelly a total of 21 questions. And we have to figure out which Animaniacs character she's thinking of within 21 questions. And they're going to basically just be yes or no answers.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll go first because Nathan went first last time.
Yeah.
So it's my turn. Nathan asked a good question last time. Is this a character that appears in the theme song to Animaniacs?
No.
Oh.
Okay. So I think that's going to be like our first question almost every time. Because it's about half the characters, and all the main characters there. So, all right. Now we need to figure out what. Is this character primarily in Warner's cartoons, Warner segments?
Yes.
Okay. Is this somebody that the Warners annoyed?
Yes.
All right. Is this character in more than one episode?
No. Don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Sometimes they're in the background. That doesn't count. If they're that obscure.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody talking us later. They were actually in the background of a bar.
Yeah. But we know it's not Mr. Director. It could still be the clown or something.
That's true.
Are they the same person?
That's true. Mr. Director and Mr. Clown are two separate characters, apparently, maybe, sort of.
I don't know.
That's a weird thing. Okay. Is this person? Oh, I'm sorry. Is this character that the Warners annoyed human?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. They annoy lots of humans. Well, let's see. I want to just like. I'm thinking of like individual people. I'm trying to make it. Did this person have a job that they were trying to do while the Warners annoyed them? Guess this.
Yes.
Okay.
Job to do.
Like that. That rules out the person on the plane buddies.
Plane pals.
Maybe some other plane pals.
Well, he was on a
Maybe
business trip. I don't
too.
know. Okay.
Well, he wasn't trying.
Blowski. Something. Ivan Blowski. Is that his name? Anyway. Okay. Is such a human. Is this person? Is this person that they annoyed now?
It's Isaac Newton. I'm kidding.
But okay. But this person is a historic figure.
Yes.
Okay. Was this character trying to paint something?
Yes.
Well, there's two. There's at least two.
That's true.
You know.
Oh man. Is this person Pablo Picasso?
No.
I'm just trying to stretch out the game at this point.
Is this person Michelangelo?
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Shocking.
10 questions. 10
That's pretty good.
questions.
10 questions. That's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all. Good.
Y'all knew who it was.
Good game. Well,
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it could have been Picasso.
Yeah, and at first I was like, oh, maybe I thought Beethoven at first, but then I was like, nope, Beethoven is in the opening credits. He gets his head hit. So, yeah, he's there for
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he's one of the. I know, that's the thing. I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder if Kelly like memorized all the people.
I have not. So
I was like, because that's better than me. Well, that is how you play, and how we play. We have a very, 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 very important question to ask you.
Llama, 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 a question answer, please. When we hear the answer, we promise that we'll leave. Hey!
And now it's time for contact information. Kelly, let's start with you.
you can find me on Twitter, Yoda Princess, YODAPRNCSS, or email me, Kelly at BigShinyRobot.com.
And Nathan, what about you?
Oh, Joey, I'm on Twitter, JingoFT, that's me.
All right, that's for the Animaniacast. We're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And, of course, if you're a Discord kind of person, head on over to the Discord group and you can talk to us and you can talk to the other folks from the other Retro Zap podcasts and Retro Zap writers. You can get a welcome link by going to discord.animaniacast.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Retro Zap podcast feed. That way you can get every single one of the Retro Zap podcasts delivered straight to your device, including this one. That'll do it for today's episode. So for Nathan and Kelly, this is Joey saying good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
This podcast is not endorsed by Warner Brothers or Amblin Entertainment and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Freakazoid, the Warner Brothers logo, all names, pictures, and sounds are registered trademarks and or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of the Animaniacast unless otherwise indicated.
This is it, Pinky-O, our moment of truth. Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain 2. But a show about two talking lab mice? It'll never get on the air.